Hey everyone, welcome back to the JayTech channel. And WWDC happened around about 2-3 weeks ago from since I last posted, and I'm sure you clicked onto this video because you saw the title and you guys are wondering if Mac OS Sonoma is worth it. So I'm going to tell you today if it is worth it and should you upgrade. Let's get straight in. So let's start off with one of the things that when you open your MacBook now, you'll start seeing these new screensavers. And these are some nice animations that they've added, which we wasn't expecting. This was like an additional feature that they added. So let's just have a look at what this looks like. So as you might see on the screen, this might look like it's just a regular image. But when you lock the screen, you'll then see it start to do a slow-mo action, and Apple calls this a stunning screensaver, which what it will do is it will allow you to slowly creep in with a little slow-mo and have a little animation type of thing when you unlock your device, and then it will go to a standstill afterwards. Now, one of the things that may cause some problems is that this screensaver, or screensavers because it's multiple, has to be downloaded individually or could be downloaded as a bundle. But as the bundle, it means that it will automatically randomly select the kind of screensavers that it will do. Most of the time you could do it per day, I believe it's per day, per week, or per month it could change it, or per how many months it could change it. And it's just a nice little feature. Instead of having your ordinary wallpaper, I think this is a better one than having that. Now, this is one of the features that I believe make Mac OS Sonoma worth it in its way. And this is widgets. Now, widgets did come from the iPhone, and now it's been brought over to the MacBook, which I think what Apple's now starting to do, which I've now realized the pattern, is that they start things on the iPhone, and then if it goes well or if it goes good, they'll bring it onto the MacBook, and then so forth and so forth. So I think there's a pattern that you could see. Anyway, back to widgets. There will be a screen recording, I'm sure, of how my one looks. My one has widgets on the side. You can put widgets anywhere, and you could also kind of like put them in places, like have them in a square, like on the iPhone, where it will just you can pick a spot of where it will go, and it will fit inside that corner. But as well as you can move this freely on the MacBook, as obviously you don't have to have it locked. Now, as you could see, the ones on my screen, they're actually not from the MacBook. They are from my iPhone. And the reason why is because my iPhone is also synced up with my MacBook, and this is how widgets are also done. Now, you can install widgets yourself through the MacBook, but you could also use, like for example, the Tesla app. You could get the Tesla app widget and you could put it onto your MacBook, and you can maybe unlock the car or heat up the car before you enter in. So there's some good features, and I think this is why Mac OS Sonoma is worth it in its way, but there's also more features as well. So let's get on to them. Let's start off with the PDFs and notes page. So in the notes, you can now start a project in notes and then take it straight over to pages and finish it off there. This might be good for adding some extra details, like some text or some animations. So yeah, I think this may be a good feature, and I'm sure for pages you could transfer it to maybe Keynote and then bring it onto some other apps, I'm sure as well. Now, as you should have known if you watched my previous video, which I will link somewhere, you might have known that you could autofill documents and return them back, and this is going to be coming to Mac OS as well as just having it on iPhone. So this is a good additional feature as well. Now let's move over to keyboard. Now keyboard, this has more accurate autocorrection, and you could stop putting docking in the moments, and you could start putting the actual word instead. You could also finish off your sentences with just hitting the space bar, and it will finish it off, and it will kind of like do a autocorrection type of thing as well. So that's pretty good on its own. Now let's move on to the main reason why Mac OS Sonoma is good in itself. And bear in mind, I've tried this out already, so I already know how this works. But there's not that much games, but there may be some games that you might see. And this is the gaming mode on Mac OS Sonoma. Now, what they've done is they've set a new mode, which what it will do is it'll set your games to top priority on the CPU and GPU. And if you don't know what they are, then I might link some videos from maybe Linus Tech Tips to tell you about what CPU and GPU means. That's only if I could do that. But it will put them as top priority for the game, so that is a very good thing. And this is supposed to, as Apple says, dramatically reduce latency within wireless accessories like your PlayStation 5 controller. Now, I've only said PlayStation 5 controller because the Apple Store only has the PlayStation 5 controller. So now they also introduced, as well as just speaking about a whole bunch of other games, which we'll get onto some of them games. They also introduced a main game that I thought was pretty good because I've been waiting for this to come out on the MacBook, and this is Death Stranding, the director's cut. So I think this is going to be one of the things that is going to be popular, and not just only that, they were speaking about this for over 10 minutes long, I'm sure, on the event. So I guess that makes sense why it's the main game. But no matter that was the main game, there is loads more games coming out, and at the moment, from what we saw at the headlines of the WWDC event, we could see SnowRunner, Disney Dreamlight Valley, and much more on its way. Right, now let's move on to video meetings. Not video calls, this is video meetings now. You could put yourself in the front of the frame or the center of the frame with these new presenter overlays, and there should be 2 overlays, I believe, and there may be more on the way, I'm sure, which is supposed to keep you in the frame on 2 overlays, and you pick between the small one or the big one. So there you go. Talking about overlays, you could also float over your screen as well as having yourself as a little bubble. Why? Don't ask me why you want to float around on your screen, but it's your choice. You do whatever feels good. Also, with video calls, you could, as on the iPhone, you can now use 3D augmented reality and use reactions like thumbs up, love hearts and fireworks, and all them other augmented reality effects that will be coming out. One of the good features, which I think is a long overdue thing, but I guess it's not Apple's fault why this didn't happen, it might be the API's fault, but allowing you to pick what apps you want to share over as a screen instead of having your whole entire screen be there and you have private stuff like details or other things on there. Yes, that could get into a big palaver, so that's a good thing that they've sorted that out. Now, one of the things that make the studio display and the iPhone way more usable in video calls is by allowing you to reframe automatically by setting your composition, and then it will do the rest for you. So I think this is maybe a good feature as well. Now let's move on to messages. Now this is a quick kind of thing that's on messages, so let's get past this. So in the messages tab, you could now search via the filter and narrow down your search. So let's say, for example, you're looking for something. This will allow you to narrow down that search as far as it can and allow you to find it way more quicker, I believe. Oh, and also you could share your location with friends and family within your conversations on the Messages app on the Mac OS Sonoma. I don't know how comes they haven't brought this over to iPhone. Man, bring this over to iPhone. Now let's move on to one of the big things that people always ask themselves on a daily basis, and this is privacy. Now, with privacy, they've added some new functions that they didn't really speak about during the event, and I don't know how comes they didn't, but one of them is a new sensitive contents warning feature, which there should be an image on the screen right now that is going to show you how this works in a way. And let's just say that this thing really is protective, and it asks you a load of things before you want to see the image or a video or a voice. I don't know if it works with voice recordings yet. We should find out that. But this works with AirDrop, messages, and I believe anything else that Apple could possibly imagine. And I think it's third party used as well. And what it will do is it will, so long as you enable it, obviously, it will detect if it's a sensitive content, and it will ask you around about 3 to 4 times to make sure that you want to see that content. And this is hopefully supposed to work within the Messages app, but not just only that, it should work within WhatsApp, Telegram, and all these other places that you might use messaging on. Oh, and if I didn't say this, it's coming to iOS 17 as well. Now, Safari is a kind of like a big major one, and this is where you can now add profiles within your Safari, which kind of like separates your work, personal stuff, and all other bases that you have. You could separate them, like if you could do like a school mode and stuff like that. You can make them kind of things and kind of like, I guess, put them inside the group as well, so then you could use it at the same time. Also, this means that your history, bookmarks, cookies, and everything else will be sent over to the new group. So this makes it a little bit more easier for you to get past things. With Safari, you can now do some more relevant searches, and they are way more faster. This allows you to, for example, give you how a football match or baseball match or something is going on, or even answer just a basic simple question like what's 1 times 1, meaning everyone should know that one anyway. And last but not least, which is one of the next big massive things that I love about Mac OS Sonoma, and one of the reasons why you should kind of like upgrade to there as well. And this is turning each and every Google page or any sort of website to a application. Now, this was available on the iPhone, but some people never really used it, and I think this one is going to be a little bit more easy to find. It's inside the share icon, and you should find something that says add to home page or add as an application. And I think a load of people are going to be using this feature, to be honest, because loads of people want to add things as apps so they don't have to, use their fingers and type in. It's only 2 words you have to type in, maybe even more than that. And last but not least, this one, wherever it pops up, is going to get a new update. Now, I've previously said this in another video again, and I've had problems with it. I'm not going to do it on this one, but you can now say, instead of, so this should make it a little bit more easier, but can get a bit annoying because it could set it off very easily, just like how I almost set off mine. And as this video, it was a very short video, I'm sure, as this was just a quick video to show you my favorites of Mac OS Sonoma, what to expect and things like that. Let's talk about what can you expect as compatibility. Now, I want to read this off my MacBook, as I'm sure you've already been seeing me do. So let's just read off what the compatibilities are. So for the iMacs, it's the 2019 or later version. The iMac Pro is the 2017 version. The MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro is the 2018 or later version. The Mac Pro is the 2019 or later version. The Mac Studios is only one version, and the Mac Mini from the 2018 version or later. If you would like to try these features and get hands-on with them, then you could download the public beta onto your Mac or MacBook, whatever iMac, if you have an iMac. You could download it on there, and if the beta version is not out by the time I post this video, then I will make a next video stating how to install all of the beta updates. And if you feel like taking an extra mile further, then I will teach you how to get onto the developers updates as well. And bear in mind that I will be posting actively sooner or later onto my Instagram and start posting a few more things on there. I haven't posted anything at the moment, just been getting that set up, as well as getting the YouTube fully set up. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video, and I'm hoping you guys understand the Mac OS Sonoma update. And here is where the main thing and main event comes in. Do I think this is a upgrade worth on doing? And personally speaking with you, I think it is worth the upgrade, especially for the widgets kind of function, live wallpapers, which is a new function as well. It hasn't been new on the iPhone. But mainly what I think is that the new trend that Apple's now starting to do is that they bring everything over from the iPhone. If it goes well, they bring it over to the MacBook, which I think is a pretty cool feature as well, because then you don't always have to have an iPhone with you, do you? So as I said already, I think this is worth it. I think people should upgrade if they have a older iMac or MacBook or something like that. Get it traded in, so long as it's not too old. Get it traded in, get a new one, and try this software out. And I'll make sure that before the public beta comes out, or just after, the day after, I'll make sure I post on my social media, which you can see down at the bottom in the description, or I'll post onto the YouTube channel, and I will explain to you how to install the beta update. If you like these type of videos and you would like to help me out, please subscribe, please like this video, and please comment down below if you'd like to see more of these types of sets, because to be honest to speak with you, I really do like these sets. These sets are pretty cool. Help me reach to 1,000 subscribers so we can start doing some unboxing videos on this channel. That'd be something I really love doing, so yeah. But for the time, I think that's it, and until next time, this has been Jay from JayTech, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!